Hello and welcome, I'm Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's play some more CK2 Dynastic Dominance. We've done a very good job, I think, so far in holding England together against foreign invaders. Norway and Duke William the Bastard both failed miserably. We're already up to 2,000 prestige, so we've got quite a bit of bonus opinion. Unfortunately, our spy master has done a terrible job of finding plots, which is shocking, honestly. Are you in, like, the wrong county? No, he's in Middlesex. That's our capital. We might end up assaulting this province, even though they have quite a bit of defense. Just because if we don't win the war quickly, then we might miss this opportunity to expand. So what we're doing here is this duke right here. I'm going to start using the F key, I think, a bit more. It's this fella here, the Duke of York. He's only got 29 opinion of us, and he has two duchies under his name. He's got the Duchy of York and the Duchy of Northumberland. So the first duchy is this one here, York, these three provinces. The other one is up here, and this guy is outside of our territory, so we're pressing his ducal claim on Cumberland. And he's happy with us, because we're basically making him stronger. Assuming we win the war, that is. This could be a very costly assault, but we might want to do it. And the problem is that if we end up getting a separate peace here... Now, the Duke of Lothian, the guy that we're attacking, is actually winning his war, so I don't see him surrendering anytime soon. So we might be safe to just hold off. just be cautious and take our time here. It'll take 20 ticks at 12 days each. So that'd be 120 days times 2, so 240 days, about 2/3 of a year, 8 months. I would love if they had something in the tooltip here, minus 5.1% every 12 days. Estimated date is, and then show the date. It's not going to be guaranteed because there's siege events that still happen. They don't pop up like they used to, but they still happen. But still, having an estimated time would be great. The Castilian Holy War for Toledo has ended. King Sancho of Castile has won. So they've just taken the Duchy of Toledo from some of the Muslims here. We were involved only kind of in name. And they like us for having honored the call, despite not really having done anything for them. We've got Oswulf here, of the Saxon band in our prison. Okay, so we still do have Duke Godwin for England, so we're not out of the woods yet. We could still see people actually rebel. And we're also pretty darn low on funding. Righteous imprisonment, we have a vassal, the Earl of Northampton, who is the leader of a plot. So we did discover a plot, see the Duchy of Northumberland, granted to a new ruler. He's got 76.6% plot power, and my Chancellor's supporting him. So this Duke of Northampton essentially wants the Duchy of Northumberland to be weaker. The Duke of Northumberland. He's my direct vassal. We could imprison him and then ransom him back and get some money from it, but by doing that we would lose access to most of his levy. On the other hand, though, we could imprison him and then just release him, taking a opinion penalty with him while gaining +10 opinion with everyone else in our realm for being lenient on our peoples. So the catch and release program, as I like to think of it. I think we're going to do that. Let's go ahead and go there. Our chance to imprison is very high. I sincerely hope that this works. Yay! Okay, and then we just release. Your vassals will think you're merciful, increasing their opinion by +10. So that gets us up now. We have a released prisoner modifier, +10, meaning that, again, mostly getting pretty darn close to getting these guys to drop out of their factions. This guy, though, does take a pretty severe opinion penalty. Imprisoned merciful, it's a net -30. And he doesn't get the released prisoner modifier. Now, It would be nice if we could possibly have higher legalism, but we already have the highest one. So there's not much going on there. No real success with this murder of, oh, speak of the devil. No real success with our plot to murder the King of England, or sorry, the King of Hungary, and then it fires. We've already betrothed our son, so there's really no reason to kill that guy anymore. We could murder this Russian woman. Could try it. And then marry our son to somebody else. Not nearly as much plot power as it said I would get. Yeah, I think we stop for now. What we had just done there is, Hungary is actually in the midst of a war. Did we cause that? I think we did. Defending against someone's claim on Hungary. Those may have already been going on, but let's just see if possibly... the defender... we're looking for the King of Hungary. Start date December 1066, 16 October 1060. Okay, so no, we didn't start those wars. They've been going on for a while, I just wasn't paying attention. But it certainly didn't help us murdering the previous king. Whoopsie. Sorry. All we really need to do to win this war is just siege through all 3 holdings in this province. And then he'll probably surrender, because he'll be afraid of the ticking war score. He won't surrender before then. Almost definitely not. And as long as his war score stays positive against his liege, we shouldn't see him end his war. Okay, betrothed can be married. This is going to get us in bed with France. So we have a new ally here. So we could call France into our war now, but I don't think there's any reason for it. Let's see if they'd be willing to. Oh yeah. Alright, so there begins our ticking war score. We're not going to take on his army, because if we do that, then he might just surrender to his liege. Instead, we'd rather move on and siege one of his direct holdings. And this is a good ratio, so I think we will assault. We'll lose a few troops, but it's better than waiting 2/3 of a year. And if he takes back the war goal, then we just wait for him to leave and go siege it again, versus fighting him head on. He is still technically winning his war, but it's low enough that he might consider a white peace. Are we not sieging anymore? Yes, we are. Good. Okay. For a second there, it didn't look like we were. Hey, the Pope likes us a little bit better. That's good. I'm surprised we haven't been excommunicated yet. We could consider going down to papal investiture. Free investiture does allow us to appoint successors to the various bishoprics within our realm. We could really appoint anyone and disinherit our nephews and things like that, but I don't really find that I've never really used it for much. It's just not necessary, generally. Okay, the only time we'd consider directly engaging his army is if we could, if we're close enough that one battle takes us to 100%, and then we can enforce demands before he surrenders to his liege. How are we doing on factions? 60%. Unfortunately, the Earl of Northampton, the guy that I imprisoned, he's pretty upset with me now. We do have a new title available. He's joined the faction. Easiest course of action, I think, is going to be just to try to get our Chancellor to stop. He's probably a greedy bastard. 188 gold to bribe him. Be nice if we had another child to educate. My brother is maimed, so he won't live too long. And there's no children of his own. Wife's not pregnant yet. Dangerous factions, Duke Godwin for England. We're going to need to hold on to any money that we can. A tithe is nice. All of a sudden he is getting pretty pissy about his levies. We might consider releasing... One thing I find fascinating is that for some reason these buttons don't work. Like, why are they even here if you can't use them? Makes no sense to me. The Duchy of Wessex, my son. We could raise his army. We have very few raised right now anyway. I think what we do at this point is... They're just getting so upset about having raised troops. That minus 16 is pretty severe. You know what's funny about it, really, is that I think the guy who's leading this faction, Duke Godwin... No, he's not the guy. That's this guy. I made you into my chancellor. Prove relations with yourself, man. I thought that it was the guy whose claim we were pressing, but nope, that's not right. %. We're about to lose control of Cumberland, so we'll lose the ticking war score. So this will be the situation where as soon as we siege through the bishopric, now we will go fight the army and then assault back anything he takes from us. We just have to hope that the faction doesn't fire before we end this war. Fortunately, we do have enough money that we could probably win just by hiring mercenaries. Of course, Duke Godwin of Mercia is the leader of a plot, so the other solution is to just throw him in prison. His plot is to kill Aelf was somebody or another, heir to the Duchy of York. Interesting. So do we throw this fellow into prison? Well, that would weaken our military quite a bit because he is one of the more powerful people in the realm and he wouldn't like us anymore. We could just tell him to stop it politely. Let's do that, see if that affects his opinion. Unfortunately, it did not. He's still at 47, so it doesn't have anything like... It's one of the things that is strange to me. Like when you tell a plot backer to stop backing a plot, you get plus 50 opinion with them. When you catch someone doing a plot that makes you allowed to imprison them, it doesn't do anything. They're just like, okay, I guess we'll stop. Okay, so we assault through here again. I've discovered a plot where Earl Waltheof of Northampton seeks to fabricate a claim on the Duchy of Essex. So you're kind of a little troublemaker, aren't you? Well, we already got the released prisoner modifier from you. Why don't we throw you in prison again? We'll wait until our marshal's available. 97% now. And we should see it tick in 2 to 3 months. Get that back. So we're going to go back to our own territory. Disband the vassal levy so that they stop getting pissed off with us. And I guess we'll just go down to Northampton. If he does rebel, he's not likely... This faction's probably not going to fire because he's one of the supporters and he won't be able to support that anymore if he's at war with us. So we'll just try to imprison him, and if it doesn't work, that's fine. Hey, we got him. That actually does make him unable to support this faction as well. I think. Maybe not. No, apparently he's allowed to stay in it. So, do we ransom him back? Or do we revoke his title? It is part of our capital duchy. This would be where we would like to centralize all of our territory. I think we just ransom him. And if he gets caught again, then that'd be fine. We could also plot to revoke it, which would be easy enough to do. Thank you for giving me some of your money. And we already have enough support to revoke it, so let's just do that and see what he says. War it is. Okay. So yeah, now he can't actually be in that faction, so this one should marginally go down in strength. We request that you honor your obligations and answer this call to arms against Duke William VIII of Aquitaine. It's the French Civil War for elective monarchy. I guess we do accept. We've got our own deal going on right now, but English Ducal War for Duke Morcar's claim on Cumberland. Yep, we'll do that. Offer peace. So now we have this guy in our back pocket for life. Plus 100 pressed my claim. So we now have support from this duchy, this double Duke of York and Northumberland. We really just need to work on this Chancellor and make him happy. Let's see if there's anything he might want. He already has control of all of this territory. He already has control of his primary duchy, which is Mercia. This territory, Derby and Leicester, is part of York. Derby is actually part of Lancaster, which, okay, so that's proper. But this, interesting, he has control of Leicester, but that should be under York. So we're pretty likely to see these two fight over that province, that county. Other than that, Weiss here, notice how he's got a vassal in Gloucester? I can't pronounce words, by the way. This is part of the Duchy of Weiss. So if we wanted to get rid of some of this guy's strength, we could create the Duchy of Weiss and then grant it to this guy, elevating to the title of Duke and taking him out from underneath our enemy. He's not really our enemy, he's our Chancellor, but he's kind of a problem right now. The only issue then is that then we'd have a Duke of a single province or single county, and that Duke is going to desire the remaining two counties, which we currently personally own. But if we revoke this one and Essex successfully, we can shift our personal holdings to this area. So I think that seems pretty fine. Let's do that. We're going to create the Duchy of Weiss, and we're going to grant it to this guy. We're not going to include lower titles, though, because I want to hold on to these for now. So he's a single county duke. He's going to be pretty happy with us because we gave him a duchy, but he's going to desire those two counties. So until we give him those, he's not going to be perfectly content. But that should weaken this guy just a little bit, and he's not going to actually be able to be upset about it. But there we go. Now he's down to 50%. Just losing a single county there made a big difference. So now we siege through this, and I guess then we go try to help out with France. We are betrothed to a French princess, so she's ill though. And she'll come of age here in the next few months. Alright, so I'm going to take a break here. Thank you for watching, everyone. See you again soon.